What is the earliest sign of civilization? It was so peculiar, it actually baffled all the archaeologists there. In societies without benefits of modern medicine, it takes about 6 weeks of rest for a fractured femur to heal. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Vishwas Mudagal Show. Today I am bringing to you an episode with a couple of amazing stories about anthropology and the ancient humans and what we can actually learn from these ancient humans basically. The first story is going to be about Margaret Mead and the healed femur, and the second story is going to be about the Latin American people and the knives in the roof basically. And these are some really exciting stories. The first story is coming up just after this break, but before that, do not forget to like and subscribe to our channels and our videos. Anywhere you're watching this, you're hearing this, please do not forget to like and rate us and all the channels that you're watching currently. Welcome back to Vishwas Mudagal Show. Today we're going to talk about a very beautiful story about anthropology. So here it goes. A student once asked anthropologist Margaret Mead, she asked a question. What is the earliest sign of civilization? You must be wondering, we all wonder, right? For example, humans have a long history. They say that the modern humans came about 40 to 50,000 years ago, maybe or so. But when was the first time that civilization actually came into picture? It always even, occurred to me. I kept wondering about it. But this is a story that actually opens up your mind for that very simple, pertinent question. The student, just like me, expected, the first signs of civilization to be a clay pot, or say hunting, gathering, or say grinding stone or fire, or even a gun or a weapon, for example. But Margaret Mead thought for a moment and she said, a healed femur. Everybody was amazed. A healed femur. So just to put things in perspective, a femur is the longest bone in the body. It connects your hip to the knee, basically. That is in your leg. That is what the femur. The name of the bone is called femur. In societies without benefits of modern medicine, it takes about 6 weeks of rest for a fractured femur to heal. 6 weeks. A healed femur shows that someone actually cared for the injured people, did their hunting, gathering, stayed with them, offered them physical protection, human companionship until the injury could mend. Mead, she explained that where the jungle law, what is the law of the jungle? The survival of the fittest rules. No healed femurs are found, because if everybody starts thinking about people who survive are the fittest to live, there will be no healed femurs. The first sign of civilization is compassion seen in a healed femur. So the bottom line is, when we look at the explanation that she gave, the bottom line is that humans have a higher purpose. It's not to gather all the riches in the world or to become the most famous person ever. It is to impact the people, the lives of the people around us with compassion, empathy, and love. The true meaning of civilization, as Margaret Mead said, is not a bunch of humans living in close quarters or coming up with ways to cook or to kill someone, but rather when we start focusing on humanity or novelty and efficiency. It's a sense of belonging. It is a sense of safety in knowing that somebody has got our back. This is the first sign of civilization. So this story of anthropology teaches us a very pertinent thing, that no matter what we are, we are humans first. And what is the true nature of humans? What sets us apart from all the animals is that we are compassionate, we can take care of each other. If it could be our family, our friends, our neighbors, our nation, and any other external threat or whatever. It could be a disease like corona, for example, when everybody came together to heal the entire world, get rid of corona. So stay tuned for the next story where we're going to take you to Latin America and the ancient people who stayed there in the jungles and the story of knives on the roof. This podcast is powered by GoodWorks Angel Fund. GoodWorks Angel Fund is India's leading early stage VC fund. And for all the entrepreneurs and startups out there, log on to goodworksvc.in for your funding requirements. Welcome back to the Vishwas Mudagal Show. This is the second segment of today's Anthropology stories. And this is a very, very exciting story from the Latin America. Here it goes. So, once in a deep jungle in Latin America, while a bunch of archaeologists were researching a site, they came across a few primitive huts from a ruined village from the early civilization period. They found like a lot of small huts and stuff. But they found something very, very peculiar. When they looked at the interior of the roofs in those huts, all the interiors they looked at, the shelves and all they looked at, and then the very, very peculiar thing they saw. There was a specific item that was placed on the interior of the roofs, and there even was a dedicated space to keep them, pointing towards a conscious and continuous action that went into keeping it there. Okay, and the item was nothing but knives. It was so peculiar, it actually baffled all the archaeologists there and even the anthropologists. Why are these people keeping the knives on top and all the sharp objects on top, like on all the top shelves? We were thinking they are like baffled. They never understood what this practice was in the early community. What was it? And a group of scientists, they came together, and the minds, they came together and they were like basically thinking, what is this ancient community collectively did this? Why did they actually choose to keep all the knives on the roof? There was a big debate and all of that. And at that point in time, people came up with many theories and inferred reasons for this practice. Some said, okay, this is religious. Some said it is early signs of social laws, and so on and so forth, basically. And during one of those meetings, a low-level assistant of a scientist, she had come along with the team, and then she was lagging behind to take pictures, and she was taking the notes and all that. So she finally caught up, and she came in and she was looking at the what these people were discussing, and she looked at the scientists, and then she casually came about and she cleared the entire mystery of all the male scientists that were standing all around. All the scientists that time were all male scientists. So she came and she cleared the myth in one shot. She said, it must be the moms who have kept these sharp knives out of the reach of the kids so that they don't get hurt. She gave a very, very simple explanation. And everybody's like, of course, that is the reason, because this had to be done by the moms. Because all the sharp stuff, maybe during that point in time, we don't know how the civilization was. They didn't have the cupboards and the shelves and everything. But the one thing that the moms could do is basically keep all the sharp objects away from the kids so that they don't hurt themselves or even kill themselves, basically. Right? So this is such a simple explanation. And then all the scientists, they actually accepted this explanation, because that was the only logical thing to do, because obviously it's like moms are keeping things on top. And this came none other than from a woman. So basically the scientists, they missed a woman in the team. So this is what happens if you don't have people from different backgrounds in your team. So you need to have men, women, people who are parents, people who are single, people who are from the diversity like LGBT community, the Asian, Caucasians, Indians, whatever it is. Like, we need to have people with diverse backgrounds. Diversity solves the problems. Diversity creates creativity. It incites creativity. It brings tolerance. And the best teams in the world are not the strongest because they have the most strong people. No, the best teams in the world are the most diverse people because they have the most diverse team members. They are able to bring ideas which come together and create something totally new. Okay, so whenever I am creating a team in my company, I always recommend people that you need to have diversity. Hire people from different walks of life, different genders, different age groups, different backgrounds in life, and that creates a huge impact on the team. The results of the teams are totally different. Okay, that's what I totally recommend. So it's a very important lesson that we have to look at. So for you have to keep an open mind and include people from all the backgrounds and cultures in your life, in your team. So do not forget this. This is a very simple story, a story that actually it is a fun story actually, and something that actually opened up our minds to a very simple principle of diversity. These stories, both of them, I think they gave a very different perspective. Each one of the stories had their own perspectives to touch upon in our lives. But with this, I would like to take leave for this week, and I'll come back with yet another episode next week of the Vishwas Mudagal Show. And do not forget to like and comment on our videos and our episodes, and do not forget to like and subscribe to our channels. And I'll see you next week, and goodbye. This podcast is powered by Goodworks Cowork. Goodworks Cowork is Bangalore's #1 co-working space. Log on to www.goodworks.in for all your co-working and managed office requirements.